In March of 2019, United South and Eastern Tribes held their annual Impact Week meeting in Washington, D.C. During this meeting, several USET tribal leaders and the USET executive director sat down to discuss the 50th anniversary of USET.
When legislators look for the position of Indian country, they look to the leadership of USET because they know we're committed, we're strong, and we have a true understanding of the issues that are facing Indian country, and they can believe in the credibility of USET that we've built over the last 50 years. And I think that's critically important when you think about what USET is capable of doing, what it's done over the last 50 years, and what it's capable of doing into the future, and continuing to grow in its leadership role in all of Indian country.
Because it is known that while we're a regional organization, we have a national influence on policy. And that, I think, is invaluable to us. So I've been able to advance several positions that continue to be discussed. So whether it's in the healthcare arena, it's at the Department of Justice, it's on tribal tax advisory issues, we've been able to have a voice and a strong voice at the table. And that you just can't put a price on. It's invaluable.
So having an organization like USET who has its ear to the ground, and they keep us abreast of everything that is occurring, and in the day and age we live in, those things happen quickly now. And so having that involvement allows us to be proactive instead of reactive, and it gives us a unified voice, and there's power in that.
Our involvement with USET through the Passamaquoddy Tribe at Indian Township, USET's been very instrumental with helping us with identifying areas and weaknesses in some of our health disparities in different areas. They have helped with some opioid things as well. I think our relationship overall has been very productive, and if it wasn't for USET being up here in DC and in Tennessee and the places and being out there and pushing for tribal rights and tribal sovereignty, not all tribes can afford to be able to get out to the Hill and do these things every day. And USET does that, and they do it for all the tribes and all the nations across, the eastern seaboard. But moreover, help us in ways that we probably couldn't do ourselves if we didn't have the relationship with USET. So we're very grateful.
When I came into my first USET in 2011, it was in November of 2011. I had just become an elected leader in July of 2011. I walked in, and it was an experience I relive every time I come to USET. I've yet to, the magic of it has yet to wear off, and I hope it never does. And I hope for every tribal leader it hasn't. But to walk into that room for the first time, see the collective minds, hear the collective voices, and glean from those people in that room information that I was ignorant of, but yet was able to take back to my community and say, this is what's happening out beyond our borders, and we need to be made aware of it. And we need to become more involved. We need to understand that no one is going to look out for us if we don't look out for ourselves. And so often, one voice cannot be heard, but collectively, and I think at that time, it was 26 when I came in, 26 can.
We are a regional organization by membership limitations. However, the work that we do has national prominence. So we've spent extensive time building relationships across Indian country from all regions of the United States in order to promote our message, in order to further our ideals of unity, which is our motto as an organization.
But strength and unity to me also means that together we can accomplish just about anything. It's been a long, successful way of divide and conquer for the colonialism, and still to this day, it's a proven method. And as long as we as nations, tribal nations, communities, and Indian people stand together, we are stronger together than we ever would be apart.
Strength and unity is, to me, what USET is all about. all these tribes working together to help each other, help Indian country in general, and help educate the American public and the international community on just what it is to be a Native American.
Strength and unity to me means standing with our sister and brother nations. We cannot accomplish as a single tribe what we do when we are a united voice. It's so important to us. And we also know that what affects one tribal nation will eventually affect all tribal nations.
You can feel strength and unity when you get into the USET meeting, when you have as many tribes representing so many, when you have all the tribes representing so many Native people. I don't know how many, I thought about that today. How many Native people are represented by the tribes that sit at USET board? The population in a total that we're making decisions for, that and not just make decisions for, but we're fighting for that next generation that's already there with close-up and setting the right examples and understanding each other's problems, that they're not just our own, they're all of us together in a collaborative position. So that strength is a beautiful feeling when you go in there and you know that you've got every tribal leader standing there, male, female, anybody in between that wants to participate, and go up to the hill and stand to be recognized. It really, it's very powerful, and I enjoy it.
The key principle that has sustained USET from the 4 founding tribes in their vision for the organization that has become United South and Eastern Tribes. And that principle was unity.
So strength and unity to me means, that like that old proverb, right, that a cord of many strands is not easily broken. So when one tribe has to stand alone against the federal government, they're very easily dismissed. When there's a unified voice of 27 tribes and all of the resources that those tribes bring to the table, then that's a force to be reckoned with.
My vision for this organization for the next 50 years, my vision for Indian country for the next 50 years, is we have decided as an organization that it is our responsibility to drive the narrative. It is our responsibility to engage in honest conversations from a position of Native truth, from a position of Indigenous truth. And we expect that of others as well. Too much is at stake within our communities, too much is at stake within our families to do anything less than that. And quite honestly, that is the intent of the vision of our founders. So over the next 50 years for this organization, I see it continuing to grow and to evolve and to become more mature. Definitely more staff, bigger budgets, but more importantly than that, expanding and extending our influence across Indian country. That is tremendously important to the work that we do, because it allows us to have that prominence. It allows us to shape policy in a way that we believe is important for Indian country.
USET is turning 50 this year, and it truly is an incredible organization. And at Mashantucket Pequot, we're incredibly proud to be a part of it. We've been a part of USET for several decades now. The privilege and honor to sit at the table with our sister tribes, tribal leaders, with shared concerns, shared priorities, shared efforts in order to move all of ourselves forward and expand on our sovereignty.
For 50 years, it's such a huge accomplishment for USET, and I thank the staff and everyone that started USET, tremendously. I thank them tremendously. It has helped our tribe so much. This is an organization we can lean on at the same time, join forces with, and fight the challenges with, and it's so great to be here.
Right now, working with USET, we're so glad, 50 years, that's a lot of experience that we're gaining the advantage of. All these tribes that have gone on before us that are working and have built these great programs, and I'm just happy we're able to take advantage of it, and that all the member tribes of USET are so generous in sharing with us their experiences and their knowledge.
The hope is that in another 50 years, when we're all gone, all of us that are sitting here today and we've moved on to the spirit world, that we've taught enough within our school systems, we've taught enough of our teachings to our youth, that have been passed down to us so that we don't change. We don't change who we are. Yes, we're going to change socially and economically, but you hang on to your culture and your teachings and your values, and them are still the same values then that they are today.
It's been a remarkable 50 years for the United South and Eastern Tribes to leverage that unity and become a national, while we're a regional organization, we are truly a national leadership organization on the forefront of every issue that is affecting Indian country. And I'm quite proud to have touched just a small part of being able to advance that model of strength and unity.
I myself feel like USET is a very, very, very vital part of addressing the issues within Indian country today. And the fact that they've been here for 50 years, they're doing something right. And if Skataba's going to be here for 6,000, let's do 6 times 50. So 300,000 years for USET, I think would be great.